Hey everybody, I am Erica Carlson with BRIX Real Estate, and I am also a neighbor in the Rockford area. If you do happen to recognize me, I was a art teacher for the Buffalo School District for about 14 years, and so I might have had your children as a former student. Obviously now I am a real estate agent. So what I am bringing you today is market data for particularly for our area. And if you're thinking about selling, this will be useful. It's also helpful if you are a buyer and you kind of want to get an idea of how the market is moving and how it might affect you. This data is pretty similar to the Hennepin County or the more of the metro area, but there can be slight differences, which we will talk about briefly. This is not a long video, so let me pause it right here for a second and move my screen over. On the map, you're seeing all of Wright County, and we have 381 properties, residential, for sale. Now, there is a lot more land lot available that I don't include in my data set. And you can see that it's kind of interesting. It is going down over time, which is unfortunate because we really are lacking inventory, and it would be nice if there were more houses for sale. We'll get into that in a little bit more. You can see TNAS, again, that's temporarily not available for showings, could still sell. It could be a canceled listing, staying pretty consistent from week to week because I am doing week to week data here. Pendings went up, which makes sense of why our active listings have gone down. Some of those houses sold, right? And my little share button is not showing me my own data, which is funny, and I can't get the mouse to work. So closed. I think you can see it and I can't. I don't even know. I think if it went up or down, I can't see. It won't let me switch it. That's hilarious. All right, so let's get into really important data here for you. This is significant. Our showing activity went from 2.5 showings to 4.2. Let me reinterpret this information for you so it makes a little bit more sense. In a 1 week period, if you had a house on the market a week before, you would have expected 2 to 3 showings would have been typical. Now, these are averages, and I'm only taking the data set from houses that are priced from $250 to $500K, right? So it's not, it doesn't include like the $1 million plus houses and whatnot. Those data sets can look pretty different. So I'm kind of just taking that average price point. And it means that this week, if you had the house on the market compared to the week before, you should have seen an increase up to like about 4, 5, or 3 showings this week. Now, if I'm telling you this and you have a house on the market and you're thinking nothing changed, it didn't get better, that is a sign that there might be something going on in terms of maybe you're priced a little high, maybe something conditionally needs to change because these are just showings, right? They're not offers. So that's really interesting data, just seeing increase. What this also tells us, if you're a buyer shopping for a house, that means your competition is increasing. This is actual evidence that there are more people shopping for houses in the last week. We didn't have any major snowstorms or anything like that interfered. So spring market is here is where I'm really going with this. All right. So days on market has been pretty consistent the last couple of weeks. So again, if you're selling a house, this means on average, it takes about 26 days or a month to sell a house, and with about 4 showings a week. All right. Last set of data I want to show you now that January's data is out, and I can see it's not letting me show the mouse. If you look at the furthest, I believe it's your right, you see the 2.0 on top. 2 months is our absorption rate. Or a better way of telling you this is if no more houses came on the market as of today, it would take 2 months for all the inventory to be wiped out in the Wright County area. Now, to give you a comparison, I believe the Hennepin County or the Twin Cities area is sitting at a 1.5 or a 1.3. So there's a pretty big difference in terms of how fast houses are selling in Wright County versus Hennepin. So if you are talking to somebody in a little bit closer to the metro and they're talking about multiple offers or houses selling a little bit quicker, that would be accurate. The data is there to express the difference. And then just to go back in time, what you're seeing is the previous 2 years. So no shock that in 2022, It was a much faster moving market. We didn't have as much inventory. We had a lot more buyers. Interest rates were a little bit lower. And then I'm really surprised by 21 being even a little higher than right now. But again, it's just absorption rate. It just means there was more houses for sale. So to conclude my weekly video with you, I know the data that you really want to know is what did my neighbor's house sell for, or what did they put it on the market for, or how many days did it take for my neighbor to sell their house? This isn't data I can get into in this video form because I'm sharing it with all of Wright County. So if you want your particular neighborhood, then I do need you to click the link that I'll share in the screen. Now you can kind of do this one of two ways. If you want to just click on the city, then you can just get like all of Buffalo's information. That could be helpful. That could be a good starting point. But if you really want to know your neighborhood, like let's say a half mile or 1 mile radius, then I need you to click the link where you do share a little bit of information that just has to come with the territory. I know you don't want to give a salesperson your address or your information, but there's no way for me to give you the market report without getting an address to circle it around. And so that will give you a better sense of how fast do houses sell in my neighborhood? How much do they sell for? And you take all of it with a little bit of grain of salt, because if you have a townhouse and they have a regular house, you have to consider all of this. So it's not going to tell you the price that you could list your house for. That you can get on my website at iHeart, HEART, MPLShomes.com. And again, I can have that in the link as well to share with you. You can see what the computer, now this isn't any different than any other computer program. A real estate agent is going to be the best way for you to know approximately what you would sell your house for or market it for. If there's any real estate questions I can answer for you, anything you're curious about, I'd love to be a resource for you. Even though I do focus on the Wright County area, I also work a lot in Hennepin County. These are my specialties, and I'd love to be a resource to you if that would be something that you need at this time. Anyway, thank you for joining me and making it to the end. I really do appreciate your support. Have a great day.